You're watching Personal Finance with Coach Kelvin. Let's get into the video.
Hey guys, Coach Kelvin here. Today I want to talk to you about approaching your FIRE journey or even your finance in a relationship, because obviously when you are going on this journey with a partner or with somebody by your side, it helps to get them on the same page. So often in relationships, some of the biggest causes of relationship breakdown or miscommunication and distress can come from finance. For example, if you have one person in the couple who is a massive spender, they frivolously throw money at every opportunity, getting that new golf club set or buying a Gucci handbag or something like this. But then you have one partner who is a very good saver and has these financial goals that they would like to achieve. It can be very stressful because while one person is putting lots and lots of time in, watering the tree to grow it, someone else is coming along and pruning those branches off. So it makes a lot of sense to actually get each other onto the same page, talk about what it is you want to achieve as a partnership and individually, and then try and find like a nirvana between you two. Come to a happy medium where both people are satisfied and you can work together. So it can be very stressful to initially approach this, especially for couples that don't already have combined finances. But there's a few ways that you can actually go about this. So when you're trying to approach FIRE or financial independence and retiring early with your partner, you can explain, by us putting in all this extra time and investing money, we're eventually going to be able to pull ourselves out of that workforce sooner. We can then go and have extra time off work or work on other things that are passions to us. We can move away from the city to that countryside where we dream of living. So you've got to sell almost a lifestyle play to them. Obviously, even when somebody loves their job, there are aspects of life that are impacted or affected by working, no matter how much you love your job. You will always have days where you're tired and don't want to go to work. You will always have days where you feel a little sick, but you still go into work because you feel obliged to be attending. You may feel reliance that your employer needs to have you there, and therefore you have some guilt about pulling yourself away. But trust me, when you invest your money, you build up a little bit of a buffer or even a big enough nest egg that you can pull yourself away from the workplace. You're going to have so much freedom in life. You're not going to work out of obligation, you're going to work out of choice. And this is going to take away a lot of that stress that your job can force onto you, making you feel ill in the stomach because you have to go to work, or you can't go enjoy yourself because what if you don't have a job tomorrow. When we prepare for those black swan events or for a future, we're going to then have the opportunity to basically make choice about our lifestyle, okay? So enough about the reason for FIRE, but let's talk about getting your partner on board. So perhaps you've just approached the topic, yet finances are still separate. You could look at, while still having your individual spending accounts, you could look at a joint investment account. So perhaps you take a percentage of each pay and you divert that into a brokerage account where you invest on behalf of both of you. So let's say, for example, that both of you in this partnership have a different wage. For example, let's say the female is a doctor or a nurse, earns this amazing pay, and then the male works as a tradesperson and their pay is a little bit more sporadic or less predictable. What you could do is commit to a percentage every single week or every single month in which you want to invest, and then you both transfer that at the end of the month or automatically every week. So let's say that the actual figure doesn't matter, you're just committing to a percentage. On the weeks or the months that you earn less money gets invested. On the months where you earn more money gets invested, and you have a little more to spend also because it is all percentage based. Now this can work very well because it doesn't feel like a burden to commit to a percentage as opposed to a dollar figure. When you are looking to divert funds into a shared investment account as well, it is important to also understand that you need to have an investment strategy that works for both parties involved. You want to have the conversation about how we plan to invest. Are we looking for growth stocks, dividend stocks? Are we looking for speculative investments which have a really big upside but potentially a really big downside? Are we looking for a more steady growth play that over time is going to basically solidify that solid net worth? You want to really get each other on the same page for this, because if you start making a speculative investment and your partner is not risk adverse or risk tolerant, this is going to stress them out and cause that sort of angst and that discomfort about investing. If your partner can't stomach a really big drop in net worth with market volatility, holding an ETF which holds many companies is going to much better smooth out that ride than holding a single sector or a single stock in a particular company. It makes sense to get each other on the same page so that over the long term you commit to the strategy and you consistently add X amount of dollars to your brokerage account every single month or week or however regular your investment interval becomes. As soon as one partner feels stressed by the situation, the unfortunate turn of events is that someone will want to change their strategy, pull money out, they'll want to go and spend elsewhere. So it's important to know exactly where each other stands when looking to invest together. Now, if all of the pay or all of your income goes into a shared account, so between both partners everything is shared, not individual spending accounts, joint brokerage, then this makes it a little easier to monitor where money's going, but you need to also allow each other to have flexibility with your spending so that everyone feels comfortable still making regular investments. If you have a partner who's an extremely social person and gets recharged and joy out of catching up with someone for a coffee, then don't burden them for going out for a coffee with friends when that is something that they value. But also remind them that they can't do that at an expense to their investment strategy. So perhaps have a limit or an amount that you wish to commit to every single month for your investment, and then you can budget a little bit for that entertainment or those social outings. Obviously with some flexibility because times change or plans can be altered, but at least have guidelines set in place so that both of you can basically progress towards this goal together. I think also, in my opinion, it's very important to know exactly why it is you're looking to achieve early retirement. If you have a partner that loves their job and never wishes to stop working, but they decide, I would like to take up another business opportunity or perhaps start my own business in this same industry, having money invested and working towards financial independence is going to allow you to then retire to the project it is you want to work on. If you both crave, sitting back in the countryside with a little project farm, growing your own food, perhaps have a few animals, then building your net worth to a point where you can go and do that and actually move away from the city and create that lifestyle, that's going to become possible by getting ahead of your finances early, investing your money and growing it to that point where then you can sort of pull that lever and go and do that walking away from your full-time job. So figure out what motivates each other, find out what it is you both wish to get out of your investment journey, figure out what your financial independence and retire early number would be. So for example, if I want to purchase this hobby farm, establish my food and my animals on that farm, and I need enough money from my investments to also cover my cost of living, how much money will I need? Whatever that figure is, that's what you need to earn in passive income from your investments in order to then live. Or you can think about the whole figure of your investment portfolio and then figure out your drawdown rate from there. If we're looking at following the Michael Kitzer's 4% rule, that means over the extremely long term, withdrawing down your portfolio by 4% every single year is never going to lead you to running out of money forever, because we can expect a greater return from investing in the market than 4%, to the point where our portfolio still grows over time despite how much we are drawing down. So I think it's very important that if you are in a partnership or you are looking to retire early, even as an individual, it doesn't matter, but know what it is you want to retire to, have that project in mind, or start even before you reach retirement, so that you can basically establish the next step before you pull that lever and take yourself out of necessary work. Otherwise, you might reach early retirement, realize you have nothing to do, so you just keep working in that job that used to make you miserable just because it's something to fill your time. And to me, that doesn't sound so fulfilling. I know that when I reach early retirement, whether I'm in a relationship or not, my goal is to keep working in a gym and training people to help improve their life. And over the long term, I know that my investments will still grow and pay for my cost of living so that I can eventually get to a point where I don't need to charge people in order to train. That means I can make contribution to society and better the lives of others because I worked hard early on. And if I have a partner who doesn't also support that goal, then perhaps it wouldn't work out in the long term. It might be fun for a short-term play, or it may work for a little while, but you need to make sure you're both on the same page when trying to reach your FIRE number or reach your investment goals. It may even be just to fund a holiday or a house or something like that, but figure out what it is you both want. And I would absolutely be willing to support my partner in the event that they had big goals that they want to chase during or after they've reached financial independence. So guys, have the conversation about your finances early on. Figure out what it is that motivates each other. Try and discover what it is you would both like to do if time and money were not issues to you, and have that discussion in order to set your roadmap ready for your retirement. I must say, whether you're in a relationship or not, it can be very difficult, yet also very easy to work towards your financial independence goals, but it makes it a lot better if you have an accountability partner. So even if you're a single person and your goal may be a relationship in the future, be very clear to anyone you cross paths with and you look at them in a romantic sort of view that you are looking to retire early and this is what your goal is. If they are supportive of that from the get-go, that's going to be a much better sign than if they don't really think it's possible and they don't believe that you can do it. Look for somebody that will support you and try and find somebody you will also support, and you can chase financial independence in a partnership, possibly even easier than if you were single, because you can share the cost of living expenses together during your journey. You can cook food together, you can pay rent together, or pay down a mortgage together, because it is a little bit more expensive living alone in the house. That's what I do at the moment, and who knows, that may change in the future. But please, please, please communicate with your partner if you have financial independence goals and they don't. It may be best to have that conversation about how we can potentially find a middle ground where everyone is looked after and happy. Alright guys, now I must point out, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm also not a relationship counsellor, but this is just advice that you can take with you and potentially utilize it in order to find a way that you want to live in your relationship while chasing financial independence, because it's very, very important to be on the same page and be open and talk about your finances with your partner, not hide anything from them. Alright guys, if you got any value from this video, please like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment down below and tell me, are you chasing financial independence as a solo person? Are you in a partnership? How are you approaching this? Alright guys, I really look forward to seeing you in the next video.